I procrastinated so bad that my camera battery is literally gonna fucking die, but I just watched freaking the season finale of Euphoria. What the Ash! I should have filmed me watching it because holy fuck, I was crying. I was running around my room. I was like, no, we're not doing this. We're not doing
Ash, we not doing this shit, man.
The way what's his name? Fez was just like, Ash, you gotta stop, and he was just like, no. What? Like, his first instinct is always to just like act first, ask questions later. Anyways, we are not going on a Euphoria rant because that could last hours. I'm filming this during exams. This is the one day that I don't have an exam this week. Should I be studying? Yes. Am I? No. I didn't read a lot this month because I was too stressed out over my fucking exams that I didn't even end up studying for. So that's it. I had notes because I don't know about you, but anytime I read a book, I'd be like, ooh, and then a week later, I'm like, alrighty. Aaron motherfucking Blackford. Let me put up the tropes first, okay? It's fake dating, it's enemies to lovers, but you can like already see him simping for her, so it's like enemies to lovers, but like not, right? It's single POV, which was a surprise to me because I honestly thought this was dual POV, but even though it's a single POV, you still get a lot. I saw like the author's not tweet, her post where she was like, this is not a full Aaron POV, but it was like the Valentine's Day letter, and I was like, bitch, she's giving us crumbs. Now give us the whole book. It's office romance, but like not, because yes, they're co-workers, but like most of the story takes place in Spain. So the stories of Catalina and Aaron, they work together but they don't like each other. Catalina needs a date to her sister's wedding because her ex is the best man, and her ex, piece of shit, fuck that bitch. So she's like, there's no fucking way I'm going there alone. Her whole family basically after the breakup kind of treated her as a wounded puppy because they broke up and then she moved to New York. In order to not get not make them worried and not have this like thing, she was like, no, but like I literally have a boyfriend. So her family was like, oh my god, you should bring him to the wedding. She was like, yeah, I am. Bitch got nobody. She was girl bossing, slay queening, she was getting the bag, right? Which like, why couldn't her parents just accept that? But you know, it's fine. So to her surprise, suddenly this man just like came up to her and just like, yeah, I'm gonna, I volunteer to be your fake date. And she was like, am I fucking dreaming right now? Like, is someone talking? Right? Because, like, they don't talk to each other. They don't like each other. So she's like, why the fuck are you just volunteering? I didn't even ask you. And yeah, he'll fly with her to Spain to attend the wedding as her date. And she'll go with him and pretend to be his date in an event. So like, that's the vibe. Slowly the lines of reality and their fake relationship begins to blur, and she's like, what the fuck? This book is a slow burn in the sense of like they don't get together until the very end, but you definitely get crumbs of like, nah, I see this shit. Because it's a slow burn, it literally went from 0 to 100 real quick, and I was like, okay, like goddamn, I didn't, my bad. It's those kind of like, having you hate me was better than you not having any sort of emotion towards me. People do say that it's kind of like a knockoff hating game, but I've also heard people say that it's like hating game on crack. So you fucking decide, man. I don't know. I gave this a 5-star because like I ate the shit up. Okay, even though I was supposed to be studying for exams, I ate the shit up. I finished in like 2 days, and 5-star. The way he like constantly reassured her on everything and was like prepared for her to just like ask questions and be on her panic girl shit. I was like, bitch, that's me. That is what I would need. Okay, Throttled. Okay. This was a 4 because in the beginning I fucking hated Noah. Well, I didn't hate Noah, but like I kind of hated Noah. Okay, like let's be fucking honest. Near the end, I was just like, okay, we see this. The tropes are reformed playboy type, brother's rival, but also like brother's teammate. Yeah, I think that's the only tropes I can think of. More on Noah, it's major mommy daddy issues, major traumatic childhood, major commitment issues. It's low-key like girl falls first, but boy face plants, He went to fucking therapy for her to be a better Maya Alator and Noah Slade. Maya just graduated college and she plans to blog her travels as she goes like with her brother to like every Grand Prix he's racing in and shit. Noah and Santiago, which like Amy Santiago. Noah and Santi do not like each other. One of like the prologue was Santiago pulled like a risky move, which kind of like costed. Is that a word? What's the past tense of cost? They were in a race together. Santiago pulled a risky move. Santiago ended up winning world champion that year. I don't know how F1 works, okay? Like, if my F1 terms are incorrect, don't come at me, please. Noah was like hella pissed, and then he found out that the team that he's in signed Santiago, so now they're like teammates. And then more on that, his sister, which is Maya's always with him, and he's like, shit, like you know? But then it's also like teammate, so he's like, fuck, I can't do that shit. Noah. What is Noah? Noah's like that American prince, son of an F1 legend, you know? People expect so much of him, especially his dad, toxic motherfucker. He was never presented with like the most healthy of relationships, so obviously he's kind of that like hit it, quit it, no strings attached, friends with benefits type, right? And Maya is kind of like, I don't do that shit. Like, no. He's kind of like in this like, shit, like I like her. I'm pretty sure I genuinely like her, but she wants everything I can't give her. And then he goes to therapy, becomes a better person, and then they give it an actual shot, and obviously it works. And I'm like, was this my first post? But it was a reading vlog on Love and Other Words, and again I gave this a 5-star. It's a childhood friends to lovers to strangers to lovers. So like, it's, you know, it's dual POV. It's two not timelines. You see them grow, fall in love, all that shit. And then you see the present of where like they're not talking, they haven't talked to each other in like a million years. And then they run to each other in a coffee shop. And it's like, oh shit, like where have you been? And then you see them like rekindling that love and all that cliche shit. She's a new pediatric resident. She's planning her wedding to an older, financially secure man. Keep her head down and her heart tucked away. And Elliot was Macy's entire world, growing from gangly, bookish friend into the man who coaxed her heart open again. Coax? What is that word? I don't know. I've never encountered that word in my existence. Only to break it on the night he declared his love for her. The situation that happened, what the fuck? Because, anyways, so something tragic happens to Macy, and her dad rents out this like cabin thing for them to have like a getaway to kind of like, you know, and she keeps coming back to that like every weekend because boy who lives next door is Elliot. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I called this man Elliot Patroclus like in that video. But also the Song of Achilles. Like, it was slow. I didn't give a shit about it in the beginning. But near the end, I was like, okay, something tragic happens to her. She goes to this cabin, and the day she moved in, she went into her room and just found this like nerd. Why am I bullying the man? But she just found like this kid in her freaking closet, and she was like, what the, hello? And he was like, oh, like, sorry, that house hasn't been lived in for like a while. He occasionally goes there to read because his family's hella loud and like his house is hella crowded. So because Macy's an only child, she was like, you know what, fuck it, you can come over and read, why not? Every time he comes over to read, they read together, and then their friendship grows and then grows to something more. They stop talking, and then they see each other 11 years later. You get taken through like how the fallout happens and how they're getting back together and all that shit. So the shit was a 5-star. From Lukov. Okay, I read this shit on Valentine's Day because I was like, let me try to do like a Valentine's Day numbing my emotions reading vlog, but I never edited the video on time. Will I ever post it? Probably not, I'm gonna be honest. This was my first Marianna Zapata book, and when people said that she was slow burn queen, I was like, how slow could it be? Because my first slow burn was The Spanish Love Deception, and that one you can already kind of see like he was simping, right? This one, you literally, there's nothing. Like, there's not nothing, but there isn't anything either. The time they finally actually got together was like 70 pages left of the book, and I was like, by that point, I kind of forgot that they were meant to end up together. I thought they were just gonna give me bestie vibes, but then I was like, oh shit, I forgot that was meant to happen. The banter in this shit, top tier. They don't like each other. They're so mean to each other. There was an interview that they had to do, and it was the funniest shit I've read in a romance book in a long time. They're iconically funny together. This is the story of Jasmine and Ivan Lukov. They're both figure skaters, you know, hence like the ice and okay. Jasmine has been through a lot in the sport. She's been knocked down, she's been injured, she's lost competition. She's, you know, like it's not the best time for her. She swapped to pairs, and her partner, piece of shit. Ivan was kind of like her last chance of fully making it in the sport. So literally she would have to partner up with this bitch that she does not like, does not trust. They don't like each other. You get the vibe. And like obviously if you're gonna be partners, you need like a good level of trust. So like, you know, to trust that he just won't like lift you and like swing you around and kill you. It was a very bad, it's honest, like what can I tell you about this book without telling you anything about this book? It's just pure grade A banter. If you're the type to be like a sarcastic asshole, right, that's like very much me, like very much bullying everyone but in a loving way. I gave this book a 4 because yes, I loved it. I loved their banter. I fucking hated Ivan, so I was like, but for Jasmine I'm gonna push through. But then, you know, again, it lacked that like distinct 5-star feeling. I'm rating this a 4.5. Their banter, beautiful. Their friendship, beautiful. Ivan in the beginning, fuck that bitch. I was ready to light that bitch on fire. But ending Ivan, you know. This is Bestie's brother, enemies to lovers. It has that scene of just like, who did this to you? You know, that like those type of like, why did you put yourself in danger type. It's a single POV. I'm pretty sure I gave both of these a 4. This is Colleen Hoover's latest book, which it starts with us. It's coming out in October. Which like, that's a long ass time, but I am so ready. I am so ready to see Atlas's POV. I'm so ready. I'm like, bitch, sign me the fuck up. It's a story about Kenna and Ledger. Kenna just got out of prison and she's trying to reconnect with her 4-year-old daughter, I'm pretty sure. But she's trying to reconnect with her daughter, so she goes back to the town that her daughter is living in. But the people in custody of her daughter doesn't like want anything to do with Kenna. I understand why, like the parents would be like, fuck you. Ledger happens to be a part of her daughter's life. In the beginning he also doesn't want anything to do with her, but slowly they kind of start becoming friends, and he's like seeing this side of her that like, oh, you're not a piece of shit, right? So he's like, you know, maybe you should see your daughter. Slowly start to form a connection, and then he's kind of caught between this like, am I supposed to be loyal to the mom or to the people that's been raising the daughter for this past like how long? The people who are raising the daughter, he's known them for a long time as well. So it's kind of just like, am I loyal to the bitch that I just met or to the people that's been in my life this whole time? You see how one story can have like 19 different million sides, and how just like everything's complex, you know? Like I think the reason I gave this a 4-star because a lot was happening and I was just not absorbing. I was kind of just like, okay, this is the story, this is what's happening, cool, right? I wasn't really like, one of us is lying. When I saw this, I was like, oh, crime, maybe I should go back to my roots. It starts with 5 students going to detention, but one of them dies in detention, and it's kind of like the investigation of like, this shit was no accident, okay? Y'all were in the same detention room and he died. Like, y'all did something. So you kind of have to like figure out who did what, when did it happen. I kind of spoiled it for myself because when I get bored, I kind of just like open a random page, read. And literally the one sentence I read was like the reveal, and I was like, dumb bitch. Even while I was reading it, I didn't know who to look at because every one of them sus as hell. Okay, I loved it. Did I love it? I didn't love it enough to give it a 5-star. Maybe it's because I spoiled it for myself by opening a random page, but I did give it a 4-star.